Hoy mi invitado especial es nada menos que Greg Hancoch de NARCUNON, una organización sin fines de lucro que también están haciendo un cambio en la sociedad, en la comunidad y transformando vidas. Y esto es en el segmento de hombres empresarios empoderados para nuestro mundo y más con Eli. It's a pleasure, Greg, to have you here in the TV show.
Hi, Ellie. Yeah, pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for the opportunity to give us to let to our audience that they know more about NARCUNON. But before that, I want to know where you come from.
Sure. I come from an inner city in Chelsea, Massachusetts. It's about 7 miles north of Boston. It's only 1.7 miles square, but there's actually considered the second most diverse city in the United States. And from a very young age, with NARCUNON is a drug rehab program. We came across people with drug problems all the time. So the city does have a drug problem, just like any other major inner city. So that was where I grew up. In Chelsea I grew up, and then I went to college, and then from there, did my career and found NARCUNON and other things like that.
And what motivated you to be in this organization, NARCUNON?
Well, that's simple. The motivation is that it works. So NARCUNON works. It has a very high success rate, much more than the normal organizations, and there's a few reasons why, which I'm sure we're going to go into in the program.
Yes, I'm so excited as I'll get in here in this building. It's amazing, it's big, it's huge, but now I want to know how you get here to NARCUNON, and I want to know about the origin of this organization.
Sure. Well, my origin for NARCUNON really came from where I came from, Chelsea, where at a very young age I had friends and family that actually passed away due to drugs. Drug use was very high in the city that I grew up in, being an inner city. But NARCUNON itself the word itself means narco meaning drug, non means no. So the word itself means no drugs. Right, so we do not use drugs to get a person off drugs as one of the basic formulas for helping a person come off drugs. So NARCUNON, very interesting. It actually was created by an inmate in Arizona prison, William Benitez, in 1966. In prison, he read a book by L. Ron Hubbard called Fundamentals of Thought, and he started looking at it and applying some of the basics, and he said, oh wow, this is very interesting, this could work. So he wrote to L. Ron Hubbard on how to actually help people come off drugs. So L. Ron Hubbard replied back and with a whole program on how to do that. So he started implementing the program with the permission of the Arizona prison, and he started getting people off drugs. And he was basically, you could say, the founder, like an inmate in Arizona prison. He was the founder of it. And then in 1970, NARCUNON became a worldwide organization. We're in 30 countries. And we have about 30 to 40 centers.
Oh, wow. I like the history. It has, because somebody was in drugs, so that he wants to help others. He was in the prison too. Right. So thanks to the book of Ron L. Robert, so he made the difference.
Correct. Yeah, that book was very instrumental, for Mr. Benitez to figure out if something could work, because he was finding that a lot couldn't work to help people get off drugs. So fortunately for us, L. Ron Hubbard had some discoveries in the field of drug research, and we were able to implement those. So he allowed us to actually use that technology to help people come off drugs.
And right now in the state of Florida, how many space like this you have?
We have one center in Florida here. So we're right now in Clearwater, Florida.
That's the only one right
Yeah,
now?
we only have one, right? So it's about a 6 to 7 acre place, and we have about 35 beds here for people who want to come off drugs.
And how that works?
Oh, sure. So the program itself is at least 60 days. So we have a 4-segment type implementation of a program. The first part of the program is withdrawal. So again, but we have very unique withdrawal process, a very exact mental drills, mental processes to help a person get out of the past into the present, but also alleviate the physical and mental normal withdrawals which occur. And it's quite a discovery. So we don't use drugs to get the person to do that, but it's a very exact way to do it. Yeah, the next part, which is very interesting, is the main reason, probably why really people come off drugs. We have a way to purge, means to get rid of the drug out of the fat. That is a sauna sweat-out program. Now, this program is at least, say, 3 weeks up to 6 weeks. It all depends on the person and how much drugs. So between kind of like supplements like niacin, exercise, and going in and out of a sauna for 3 to 5 hours per day, the person actually starts getting rid of the drugs that are in the fat. Now, pharmaceutically, it was discovered that all drugs besides alcohol are made from an oil derivative, and they stick inside the fat in the person's body. So that means all medical drugs actually stay in the fat for the whole life of the person, or a good bulk of the life. Many, many years it stays in the system. So with the sauna sweat-out program, it's called a New Life Detox, in terms of actually, they really do, after the detox, they really do have a new life, because they no longer have drugs in the fat of their body. And it's one of the very profound ways to get a person off drug. It is found, the reason why our program is so successful, that if you don't run the drug out of the fat, the drug can come back out of the fat into the bloodstream and create the mental and physical craving that other programs can't handle. So it's very different, but very workable, and that's one of the clinical, and there's clinical data to support that. It's not just, me saying that. It's clinical data.
And all the people that come here for treatment, liquid treatment,
Yeah, sure.
It has to be voluntary. It's not that they don't be forced to come here. So they get the decision that I said, yes, I want to get the treatment, I want to get cured, and they come here voluntary.
That's absolutely correct. And normally we worked with a friend, a loved one, and basically persons on their own volition to actually do that. So they voluntarily come here. There are 2 other parts of the program. So after the person does finish what's called the New Life Detox, they then do what's called objective processing, which is at least 15 drills and mental processes that get the person completely out of the past and into the present. And when a person comes into the present and now, they actually get newfound abilities that they never had before. After that, the next stage is life skills. Now, life skills is, it can vary from a certain amount of time, but we handle, the first part of life skills is called ups and downs, the first course. And it handles the antisocial and social characteristics of a person. Because if the person doesn't identify those and he goes back into the same where he was going, he's going to end up hanging out with the same negative people and get into the same place where he was before. So in terms of life skills, so he actually understands that it's a skill in life to address who he hangs out with, who he's around, and what he does. And that would include personal, work, anything that he does. After that course, he then does personal values and integrity. And it's a wonderful way to write up all your harmful acts, all your transgressions, all the things that you did that you wouldn't want other people to know about it. But it's done in a very safe environment, and in each category of your life. So, you write up those things in terms of yourself, in terms of your family, in terms of your group, in terms of mankind, in terms of the animal kingdom, in terms of like matter, energy, like if the person has done something to the physical universe and what's been happening, and also, you spiritually or God. So it really addresses like every single aspect. Well, this person feels so clean, they feel so amazing, so revitalized, so unburdened, that they actually start taking steps to look at like, how I got there in the first place. And then the last life skill course it's called ethics and conditions. Now, in this, they actually learn how to write up a life plan. Now, in this life plan, they're going to identify all the things that they've, again, from what they've done before, and actually make up for those things. And additionally, when they're actually going to find a job, they're going to find housing, and the people to hang around with. So their life is set up. We have a very high success rate, and now that's after 2 years, not after some other programs that say like 90 days. So when a person we have a very high success rate, and that's after 2 years.
Yeah, because you're not using drugs.
Right.
To cure them and to give them help. So the treatment is going to take more time. because they breaking that by themselves.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's more harder because they go to other institution and they give you more drugs.
Yes.
So they leave one drug, but now they used to using other drugs. So you don't see the difference.
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, the average person that actually comes to our facility could be on 4 to 8 drugs, and actually could have failed the program 4 to 8 times before they come to us. So it's very important to not use drugs or get a person off drugs. But as a safety thing, like if they are on certain drugs, we do work with medical detox for programs 7 to 10 days outside of us to handle the factors that have to be handled medically, and then they get sent to us where we don't use drugs to get them off drugs. Because in the long run, we need them. They need to be off drugs to have a drug-free life.
Can you share with us the percent of people that already been here and get the treatment?
Oh, it's a 70% success rate. Now that's an international. That's very high compared to the. Now I don't normally talk about that because we don't want to talk. Our friends in other programs, they don't generally have that type of success rate. But not to invalidate them. They do a great job, and we love working with them. They're our friends, but we do have a very high success rate.
Yeah, but that percent is very high.
Yes. Yeah, very high. We're very proud of it too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not 10%, 20%. You're talking about 70%.
Yeah, you're talking tens of thousands of people since 1968. 70%, sometimes even more, have come off drugs permanently for their whole life.
And during this time that you've been working with NARCUNON, did you have people that when they get here, they get violence, or you have something get bad with some of them?
Well, there's definitely things that do come up. They don't necessarily get violence because when there's certain processes that are run, so it doesn't go that far. Now, anything is possible, but we haven't found that when you really have a way to handle the drugs in a very exact way, to get it out of their fat, to take them out of the past and into the present. Because if it's in the present, they're not going to be violent.
That's it. Yeah. And you have a lot of a big group that working with all those people that come here?
Yeah, we have many, many, many staff members here. We have many volunteers, and we just have a very large community here that is very interested in helping really not only, Clearwater, Pinellas, Florida, the whole United States. It's really a worldwide organization, and it's a worldwide purpose because drugs are an epidemic. Like right here in Pinellas alone, once every 14 hours, a person dies from drugs in Pinellas County.
And that's high too.
That's very high. We're not talking about Florida. We're not talking about the United States or the world. It's very high. And it's a pretty high statistic of what people are actually addicted to drugs. And the thing to really note that it's not necessarily the homeless guy on the street. It's the actual person that could be perceived as, very proactive, very functional. But unfortunately, he could be any professional, and he's still affected by drugs today.
Exactly. People think that drugs is just for these people that doesn't very poor people. No, you could see also the people rich. That you said no. That's the more you could see that the percent is very high. They're using drugs.
That's correct. Now, if you Google it or you chat GPT it, it's going to say anywhere from 10 to 17% of people in the United States from the age of 12 and up are addicted to drugs. Now, that could be alcohol, that could be opiates, that could be any particular drug along that line.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, I used to live in a exclusive place, and there was a lot of rich people, their sons and daughters, they were in drugs. And not only they were using the drugs, they were selling the drugs.
Yes.
So the percent was very, very high. And then you see the place that was poor people, and you get the percent, it was low.
Yeah, that's why. So drugs doesn't, they're not biased. It takes everyone. No one is really. everyone, unfortunately, is susceptible to overusing drugs if they are put in that position. And generally, when you isolate, in life skills, we generally do isolate the reason why a person does a drug in the first place. And it's generally due to the fact that they lost their self-respect somewhere, along the line. And then when you can rehabilitate their self-respect, they no longer, need drugs.
Greg, something else that you want to share before you say how could people reach you for more information? You give the platform's phone number?
Yeah, sure. Well, if anyone in the Florida area, particularly say next to SUNCOAST, anywhere in Florida, but we can actually do the whole Northeast, in terms of, because I go up and down the coast, Boston, New York, Philadelphia. So really, we can help anyone really anywhere. But in terms of reaching us, let me grab the thing here, grab the number. Anyone can reach us here at 888-203-2556. Again, 888-203-2556. That's the number. You can call in and speak to a counselor.
You could share the address too if you...
Yeah, sure. The address is 1390 Sunset Point Road, Clearwater, Florida, and we'll be happy to help you.
Something else that you want to share to our audience here to the camera?
In terms of the address? Or just address? Yeah. Sure. Well, we have a very big purpose to help people come off drugs. And in terms of, some people might be out there saying, well, how do I talk to somebody that doesn't want to get off drugs? We have a very exact, systematic way to help a person gradiently, meaning step by step, no matter where they are. We work with the loved one, we work with the family member, we work with the addict or the student themselves, and really, don't feel like the person is lost. They're never lost. Just give us a call, and we're really here to help, no matter what. And whether we help them now, or help them in 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now, we can definitely do that. So don't feel like it's too late or you don't know what to do. Just give us a call.
Thank you so much, Greg, for the opportunity to share that information. It's a pleasure to have you here in the TV show. And I'm very excited to also share all this information of this amazing nonprofit organization. We still need more people like you guys, like this organization that help our people. Not only the young people, the older people, our children and everything that giving them the space to be better, to get cured. Because it doesn't matter that you was on drugs, that doesn't mean the life finished. No, you still have a chance to do better, do the best thing, and have a better life.
Absolutely. You said it very well, by the way. So okay. I totally agree with everything she said. She said it very well, but and that's really the point. That there's no such thing as a lost cause. We can help anybody, and really, there's nothing more impactful than a person who has a problem. What happens to their family? Sometimes they get in trouble with the law. Then they do some things they would never normally do, and the family just ends up, and that person feels like they're disconnected and they can't really be connected anymore. We want to stabilize and connect the families, so that's what we want to help do, get people off drugs.
One more time, the phone number and the address.
Sure. So the 800 number is 888-203-2556, 888-203-2556. My name is Greg Hancock. The address here is 1390 Sunset Point Road, Clearwater, Florida. That's 1390 Sunset Point Road, Clearwater, Florida.
Excellent, thank you. Y bueno, mi gente, aquí ya ustedes escucharon a Greg Hancock, que estuvo hablando y compartiendo información y el origen de esta maravillosa organización que se llama NARCUNON.